So we're talking about Shopify and WooCommerce. These are the two biggest platforms to build an e-commerce store, and so I wanted to discuss the pros and cons of those two platforms to help you make a decision as to which one to go with. And if you're on one and you want to move to the other, maybe this video will help you as well. Hi, my name is Burhan and I'm a Shopify expert, but I also know a lot about e-commerce platforms because I've built WooCommerce platforms for clients as well. And I want to sort of give you some insights into my experience, but also what other people have told me. When it comes to setting up your e-commerce shop online, WooCommerce and Shopify have got totally different experiences. When it comes to WooCommerce, you've got to choose a provider of who is going to host your website. Then you've got to actually, build your WordPress base website. Then you've got to add the WooCommerce plugin. Then configure all of these other plugins to make your website fast, to design your website the way you want to. Maybe you're going to use something like Elementor or Divi, and then load the products on, deal with the shipping, plugins, pricing structures, discount structures, all of these things that WooCommerce and WordPress has. And then there's also other plugins that maybe you need to buy, blah, blah, blah. Basically, long and short, it's a long process to set up your store on WooCommerce. And most likely you're going to use an expert, you're going to pay an agency, or you're going to pay a freelancer to be able to build that shop for you. When it comes to Shopify, simple, very easy. They've even limited the number of trial days to 3 days, purely because they want people to get their store up and running in no time at all. If you've got your photos, you've got your product descriptions, you've got your titles, and you've got your pricing, you can basically load your store up and get going within a day, even if you're doing it on your own and you're not paying for somebody else to do it for you. That's how easy it is with Shopify to actually get set up. The second thing I would say is a major difference between the two platforms is payment integration. Shopify Payments is definitely the thing if you have your business in the US, and so Shopify Payments allows you to collect money from overseas places. But in certain instances, Shopify owners or people that want to open Shopify stores, it's maybe difficult for them to find a payment integration provider. When it comes to WooCommerce and WordPress, yes, it is possible. You can plug in a number of payment providers, Stripe, PayPal, pretty much anyone that you can think of, but it's a manual process. You have to go through a couple of steps to open the accounts, make sure that everything is connected, test your store, make sure everything is working. With Shopify, there's none of that. Number 3, customization. Now, both platforms have got powerful tools that you can use or you can leverage to be able to customize your store. On Shopify, you can get a free theme and then customize your store according to the limitations of that theme. Or you can buy a paid theme, which may give you a few more options to be able to customize things. Or on the third level, you can get a developer to customize the entire store. Depending on the plan you're on, you can't customize the cart, but if you're on Shopify Plus, then you can customize every single step of the cart as well. With WooCommerce and WordPress, depending on the plugin that you're using to design your store, I mentioned Elementor and Divi earlier. Both of those plugins work very, very well with WooCommerce. You can customize your store again to whatever level you want to. Those plugins you may need to pay for those either on a monthly basis or on an annual basis, depending on how you're going to design your store. The more complicated that you want to get, the more customization you need, maybe the more expensive it gets. Just bear that in mind. Number 4, I would say, is SEO optimization. Now, with Shopify, yes, there are certain built-in tools for SEO optimization, and there are apps that you can add which may increase your monthly fee, but Shopify has got a really, really robust platform, and when it comes to SEO, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to get a fast website, provided you work within those parameters, without too much trouble. When it comes to WooCommerce, yes, WordPress is also built for SEO, and there are a lot of SEO elements built in, but you are going to need a plugin, maybe like WP Rocket or other plugins that will help you with speed optimization and optimizing your code and making sure your website loads fast and making sure your images are scaled down. Number 5 is support and cost. So when it comes to support and cost, Shopify, depending on the plan you're on, you get more support or less support depending on where you are. With WooCommerce, you need to find support. You need to find freelancers, you need to find an agency to actually help you, support you. If you hire a full-time developer to work on the front end, work on the back end to maintain your store, then that's definitely an added cost. And in most cases, the applications or the platform itself is relatively inexpensive compared to the level of support that you need. With Shopify, however, yes, you could get a developer that you need help with, depending on your customizations, what I mentioned earlier. And so that can obviously be expensive. Shopify experts, people who are coding in Liquid, are a lot more expensive because they are in high demand and there's not that many of them in the world. Whereas with WordPress and WooCommerce, there's an abundance of freelancers and agencies that can help you around the world. You've got to factor in, sort of from a support point of view, how you want your business to run. For me, I recommend, based on all the 5 things, I would still recommend Shopify, depending on your application, depending on what type of products you're selling, because of that support, because of that sort of out of the box, make it easy. Things are really, really easy to do. Set up the store, get everything going, optimize. It's really, really simple with Shopify. Overall, I would say both platforms are great, depending on your application. And of course, if you need help or any advice, hit me up in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer your questions related to either WooCommerce or WordPress. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye for now.